Part 3. Cynthia's Manipulation and Emeka's Rise. Back in Benin City, the air carried a strange kind of silence, the kind that lingers after someone important leaves. Emeka felt it every morning when he opened the pharmacy. Stephanie's laughter used to fill this place, bright and spontaneous like sunshine on polished glass. Now, all he had were echoes. Business had been slow at first after she left. Her absence had created not only an emptiness in his heart, but also a void in the rhythm of his work. But Emeka was not the kind of man who surrendered easily to silence. He poured himself into the business, expanded into diagnostics, and within a year, Emsal Pharmaceuticals had become a name that carried weight. Respected, trusted, quietly powerful. The locals began calling him Dr. Emeka, though he was no doctor. He smiled each time he corrected them, though inside, he knew the name came from something deeper, a respect he had earned the hard way. But behind that quiet success, a wound refused to heal. Every time he passed the old church where he and Stephanie had prayed before her flight, he felt something break a little more. He told himself she was happy, that she had found what she was looking for. Yet in the quiet hours, when the world slept, her memory came back like the hum of a generator after a power cut. Loud, familiar, and impossible to ignore. Cynthia returned from Abuja one rainy afternoon, walking into his pharmacy as though she had never left Benin. She was elegant now, polished makeup, designer handbag, the faint scent of imported perfume. Her smile was warm, but her eyes were calculating. "Emeka," she said softly, leaning against the counter. "It's been long." He smiled politely. "Cynthia, you look different. Abuja treating you well." She laughed a little too loudly. "You know Abuja life. Expensive, but rewarding. I just missed home and old friends." "Home doesn't change much," he replied, arranging medicine boxes. She watched him closely. "You haven't changed either. Still the serious one. Still thinking of her, I suppose." He froze briefly. "Her? Stephanie," Cynthia said, her tone light but her eyes sharp. "You still talk about her sometimes, don't you?" Emeka gave a tired smile. "There's nothing to talk about. She made her choice." Cynthia leaned forward, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Then maybe it's time you make yours." He frowned, unsure what she meant, but she only smiled and changed the subject. That was Cynthia's strength. She never attacked directly. She planted seeds, then watched them grow in the quiet corners of your mind. Over the following months, Cynthia became a regular presence in Emeka's life again. She helped him with business proposals, introduced him to potential investors, even brought in a contact from Lagos who helped him register Emsal internationally. And little by little, Emeka began to rely on her. Not emotionally, but practically. She was sharp, efficient, and always one step ahead. But underneath her help, a darker motive simmered. Each time Emeka mentioned Stephanie's name, even casually, Cynthia's expression hardened for just a second before she masked it with a smile. In her heart, jealousy had grown into obsession. She wanted what Stephanie had: the man, the respect, the admiration. But more than anything, she wanted to prove she could take it all. While Emeka rebuilt his life in Nigeria, Stephanie's world in Oxford began to tremble. Her relationship with Robert had shifted, no longer all laughter and luxury. There were silences now, questions, little cracks that widened over time. Robert was kind, yes, but his kindness sometimes felt like control disguised as care. He wanted to know where she was, who she spoke to, how she spent her days. "It's not jealousy," he'd say. "It's just love." But love, she realized, shouldn't feel like surveillance. Then came the message, a photo sent from an unknown Nigerian number. It was Emeka standing beside Cynthia, smiling, his hand resting lightly on her shoulder. The caption read, "Some bonds fade, others grow stronger." Stephanie's heart twisted. The message wasn't signed, but she knew that tone. Cynthia's smugness bled through every pixel. She tried to dismiss it, to focus on her work, but the image haunted her. Emeka and Cynthia, side by side, the thought burned like acid. By now, Emeka's name had reached beyond Nigeria. His company's low-cost malaria drug had drawn attention across Africa, and within 2 years, He was invited to international conferences as a guest speaker. He'd grown into the man he always dreamed of being: influential, composed, driven. But even in his highest moments, he never allowed himself to forget who had first believed in him. Stephanie had seen in him a future he didn't yet see in himself. And that memory, buried deep, kept him human, kept him honest. So when he received an invitation to sponsor a global health expo in London, he didn't hesitate. It was business, yes, but also something else. Somewhere inside, a whisper told him fate was circling back. When Cynthia learned Emeka would be traveling to London, she felt the ground shift beneath her. She had fought too hard to secure her place beside him, and now the past was threatening to return. She tried to smile when she saw his excitement, but her voice betrayed her. London, Are you sure you're ready to face whatever you left behind there? Emeka looked at her, puzzled. What do you mean? Nothing, she said quickly, forcing a laugh. Just be careful. Not every door from the past should be reopened. But her warning wasn't concern. It was fear, because deep down, she knew if Stephanie and Emeka ever met again, she would lose everything. On the night before his flight, Emeka stood on his balcony, the city lights of Benin flickering below like restless fireflies. He felt the weight of years, the choices made, the love lost, the roads that diverged and somehow began to cross again. He whispered into the quiet, maybe it's time. Thousands of miles away, in Oxford, Stephanie sat by her window, staring at the same moon, unaware that somewhere under that same sky, a man she once loved was whispering her name again. The world was turning, slowly, inevitably, drawing their paths together once more, beneath the same foreign sky that once separated them. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and leave a comment to help grow the channel. See you in part 4.